All right, this next one is from Facebook, and I don't know how many of you actually give a shit about Dean Withers. He's got a pretty speckled past, but, like, he is a decent rhetorician, and he is arguing against a girl who runs a channel called Emily Saves America. And if you've never heard this woman speak, my first time hearing her speak today was watching her actually be on the right side of the Epstein file problem. That was at least something. This next bit is not quite as that. But before we get into that, I want to go ahead and say we do have the costume contest going for the channel right now. If you submit fan art on the channel and you throw it in the costume contest area of the Discord, then it will be submitted into the costume contest. The person who wins gets their outfit that they designed redone as an actual model for the channel. That all said, before we get into that, we need to get into this. This one is from Calderfur, and they said, here is my other entry for the contest. I did verify if we could post more than one piece before posting my other one, and I am much happier with this one, though. It feels good to have a little bit of reminiscing over my singing arc, even though I'm still a terrible fucking singer, but I did take lessons and I did try my best. But that's really fun to see some of that coming back up now. Also, yes, you can submit as many designs as you want. It is not a one design per artist thing. If you've got 5 ideas knocking around in your head, then post 5 pictures. Like, we will figure out what is going to be done with all of them. And, by the way, make sure that you are going into the costume area and putting your reactions to the actual costumes themselves, because that is weighting the end result of things as well. Sylvie says, I wish I submitted Nutris in the beginning. I would have been so fucking funny. Anyway, as always, thank you for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. That said, let's go ahead and get into the conversation with Dean, because it's certainly something. It is definitely, most certainly something here.
People are crying at ICE for doing their jobs. They're intervening with ICE doing their jobs. That's why they're getting...
All right,
Day 15 or better than take
wait, what? No, I love when I click on a thing and it just immediately goes to my cooking algorithm. Okay, but actually, hold on.
Day 15 or better than takeout series, and we are making bang bang chicken.
First, I mean, honestly, I'm actually okay with this. Hold on, this is better.
Garlic, ginger, salt and pepper, and egg white. Give them a Chinese massage and set it aside. For the sauce, combine mayo, Thai sweet chili sauce, sriracha, and lemon juice. Next, coat the chicken with potato starch. Then fry the chicken until golden brown and crispy. Dunk your chicken into the sauce and mix well to combine. Once it is done, serve with hot steamed rice and enjoy.
Yeah, that's easy. I'm gonna do that. Probably later, but like it's either that or red curry. Like I really want to. Anyway.
People are crying at ICE for doing their jobs. They're intervening with ICE doing their jobs.
All right, so ma'am, can you explain what doing their job is in this specific scenario? Because doing their job seems to be harassing brown people, breaking down their doors without a warrant because they were told they were allowed to do that. I'm sorry, but, ma'am, maybe we should populate that phrase, just doing their job. Did you know that in the 40s in Germany, there was a military organization that was also just doing its job? They got Nuremberged.
That's why they're getting shot and killed, rightfully so.
So if a United States citizen intervenes with somebody's job, it's okay to shoot them. That's the take? All right. You know what? I'm actually okay with this. I'm strapped. I'm actually A-okay with this one. The first person in my chat who says something disruptive or problematic, they're getting shot. That's what Emily just showed is perfectly A-okay. Like, we can do that. Apparently that's right. That's fine. So we'll just sit here, wait for the chat, and the first person that does anything, getting shot. Oh, there's Rat of the Candle. Sorry. Bang. I apologize, but the bullet is already on its way. It's being sent by USPS. Okay, Miss Emily. Sure. It is an appropriate thing to do to just shoot people when they are interfering with your job. Also, yeah, I did 9/11. You're right. Is mentioning eel sex again disruptive? God damn it.
Both of those deaths of whatever their names were could have been completely avoidable. Probably better off without him, regardless.
Probably better off without them, just random human lives. Okay, ma'am. Sure. No context there. I mean, if you just died tomorrow, I'd probably just say that we're better off without you. And I guess I don't have to do any research into anything in your life to see whether or not that's actually a truthful statement, right? Like, that's what that means? Just, so the mother, better off without the mother? Yep.
And, yeah.
Let's go ahead and focus in on one of the 3 citizens who has been murdered by ICE, and that will be Alex Pretti. So first, you made a very bold claim. A man lost his life, and I think the world lost a good man. And your takeaway is, we're better off without them, and that the shooting's justified. So Emily, tell me, what is the legal standard that authorizes an LEO and engaging in the use of lethal force ending the life of an American?
I don't know. Go ahead and tell me.
If you don't know the legal standard that justifies a shooting, then why the hell are you sitting here saying the shooting was justified?
You know, that's a very good point. Why in the balls would you have such a strong standard? After all, I'm going to go ahead and say I do not think it's justified to shoot American citizens like 99% of the time when you're law enforcement, because I think that human life is a thing that is important to preserve, personally. Def says no doubt she's anti-vax if she thinks the world is better off without a medical professional.
I think it was justified because of his actions.
Right. Ma'am, would you like to populate that statement with some thing at all? Anything? Because when you say his actions, that could mean anything. We can fill in the blanks. Maybe don't let us fill in the blanks. Maybe you should try to fill in the blanks. Simon's Blood says, in my opinion, if I'm trying to have a civil conversation with a trans person and they threaten me or my family with threat of violence, I could take the low road and threaten them back, or take the high road and not respond in such a manner. Right. I don't think that you having it... I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think you've ever had a civil conversation with a trans person where they have threatened your family. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there right now. I don't think that that's a thing that happened. Like, in the 1% chance that you actually had that happen, I'm sorry, but realistically, I do not think that that is a thing that occurred to you. I don't think that is a thing that you dealt with. Since Simon's Blood, are they a Belmont? Fucking Belmonts. So sorry, that's a 2-parter question I'm trying to send. Oh, okay. So there's a second part of that as well. Sure. Kind of worried about what that other part looks like. Anyways, Notepad's a really good way to do stuff like that.
Perfect. What actions?
He went with a gun, did he not? Did he not?
Okay, here we go. Kind of caught a gotcha moment in your video where you had a disagreement with the transphobe in the comment section, 240 mark. If someone in a debate is offering threats of violence or death, is it appropriate for the other person to respond in kind accordingly, like that dude that threatened Ben Shapiro with violence, all because... Oh, you mean the girl, the girl, because Ben Shapiro was not responding and being respectful. So the girl decided to be disrespectful right back. Yeah, I think that when somebody threatens you with violence, you can threaten it right back. Could Ben have threatened it right back? Sure. He is one who started it, but yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be honest. I think that when somebody threatens you, it is okay to threaten them back. I do not think that taking the high road is always the correct option. I don't. Somebody brings a gun, you do not use a knife because of honor. You just use a gun as well. That's where I'm gonna sit. And I do not think that is a position that you can really fight all that much. Other than, like, standing on principles, but principles don't save lives on their own, actions do. So, I don't know. But again, I don't think that you have had a civil conversation. Said all because the imaginary pronouns? You mean the trans woman? Okay, hold on. So, Chucklefuck Tits. I'm no longer going to call you Simon's Blood. I'm going to call you Chucklefuck Tits. Moreover, I'm going to assert that your God-given name is Chucklefuck Tits. I know you put your name as Simon Blood, but that's imaginary. It's Chucklefuck Tits. That's all it is. You are, from this point forward and forevermore, always Chucklefuck Tits. Now, that is definitely a disrespectful thing to do, and I don't actually get to assert that. I don't get to assert what your name is. I don't get to assert what your gender is. That's a you thing you get to assert. Ben Shapiro, in that clip, was asserting that he knew more about what was going on in her head than she did. He also asserts that he knows more than medical professionals. So Simon's Blood, I'm going to go ahead and take this derailment, and I will say, for just a second, my guy, or gal, or something in between, I don't give a shit what you have. Why do you not agree with the vast majority of medical professionals who are experts in their field? That's all. That's all it is. Why do you not agree with the vast majority of medical professionals in their field of expertise that they have studied? Not you. Have fun with that one. Anywho.
Now have a loaded gun?
Yes, he did have a gun on his holster, but you should know that in accordance with the 2nd, 4th, and 14th Amendment, merely being in possession of a firearm does not authorize an LEO to literally shoot and kill you.
You're gonna go to a protest with a gun and a cop sees it as you're harassing these ICE officers that are getting threatened every day? Dude, it's not even a Republican thing, a Democrat thing. It is a common sense thing.
Okay, so it is a common sense thing if somebody has a gun to just shoot them, right? That's your point, ma'am? That sounds like something that would be really silly if you happen to have a person who did the same thing and in fact actually did discharge their firearm and kill other people at a protest who you worship instead. Because they're always wrong at some point when new evidence comes up, but they suppress it. Okay, cool. So Simon's Blood, do you admit that you are not an expert in the field of gender studies or biology or like any trans-related thing at all? And that the people who are experts in that would have a better chance of being correct there? Because I think that's what would happen in this scenario. You're just asserting that you're hedging your bet that they are incorrect, but you don't have any evidence of that? That sounds awfully stupid, my guy. Maybe don't be awfully stupid. That's a silly look for you. That's like saying you don't believe in relativity simply because something might actually disprove it later. Ignoring the fact that the entire point of that particular theory is that it's different depending on where you are in the galaxy. That's neither here nor there. Said the zoom in on comments Stream Deck function. It's not a Stream Deck function. This is something that I specifically set up. I had to set this up manually as a source. That said, I don't even believe in gravity. It's an Israeli conspiracy. We can fly. Fucking hell. I am a lesbian. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Melody says, hey, did you know space isn't real because the information that we have about it keeps changing? Oh my God. Jessica Davis, calm down. As per usual, please calm down. Tatas, silence them.
It is a common sense thing. I would never, CCWs, I understand. I would never bring a gun to any Trump rally, anti-Trump. That is just.
So you'd never bring a gun to a protest. That is your position. All right. You got me in the first half.
It's just not a smart thing to do. That's why you end up dead.
Okay, condemn Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah. The guy who crossed state lines with a gun specifically to go murder protesters. We can't really claim intent there, but he certainly ridden that persona afterwards. So, condemn Kyle. He brought a gun to a protest and actually shot and killed people.
What?
He brought an AR-15 to a protest, remember?
I'm saying I don't know Kyle Rittenhouse situation. It was a big story. I don't care.
Is that the defense? Wait, hold on. So let me get this straight. The defense, when you're incorrect, is to just say, I don't know, I don't care. Ma'am, how is anybody supposed to take you seriously? I don't think anybody can take you seriously at that point. Said pretends like she doesn't know typical activity of their kind. Like, how is that the defense? How is the Kyle Pretti situation? How can you be so confident about that situation? One of them being a pedophile who sodomized a 12-year-old. What are you even talking about, Simon's Blood? What is that in reference to? And the other a woman beater? I don't know what you're talking about. You're throwing things into the ether. I feel like you and human communication struggle with one another. I think when you look in the mirror, you don't have conversations with yourself because you simply don't know how to start them. That said, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. So it's bad to bring gun to a protest. Common sense. You're going to get shot. You're going to get killed. Kyle Rittenhouse is good for doing it. And oh, by the way, I'm not going to defend myself because despite the fact that there being more information about the Kyle Rittenhouse situation because it went to court and everything, so all the information's out there in the public, I don't know anything about it, but I do know enough about the Alex Pretti situation to say it was okay for that person to be shot and killed. Ma'am, you are dumb. You are 12 different flavors of stupid. Jesus. Joseph Rosenbaum gave Gross Scots the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. Oh, are you talking about the people that Kyle Rittenhouse didn't know who they were when he shot them? So I don't know. If you feel like you should walk out into the street and just like start shooting people because you might hit a pedophile or you might hit somebody who hurt women, I don't know. I think you're very stupid. No, seriously, I'm not even saying that as a joke. I think you're a moron. I don't have the crayons nor the slurs to describe to you exactly how I think your brain works, because I don't think it does at that point. I said they have an interesting chat history. Yeah, you've missed some things. But, okay, ma'am, let's continue.
I don't know what happened. Don't think he's a bad kid. I'm glad he's not dead.
Wait, Emily, this doesn't make any sense, because earlier you said the world is literally better without Alex Pretti because he brought a gun to a protest. Now you're saying that you don't think that Kyle Rittenhouse is a quote-unquote bad kid, regardless of the fact that he brought a gun to a protest. So what it seems like is that bringing a gun to a protest is not the relevant factor here that leads you to the conclusion that...
No, it's what political side you're on. That's what it always is. Every single, Second Amendment absolutist, it stops being a Second Amendment absolutist when it is inconvenient for them. Every single fucking time. Def says, imagine throwing a brick and finding out the person you hit was a serial killer. Does that suddenly mean throwing bricks at people is okay, actually? No, it doesn't. It's a very stupid position to try to defend. You lucked out and you managed to kill somebody who people assume is bad. Okay. Let's also ignore the fact, as a fun thing, I don't know the specific stories of the people who got themselves killed in the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, the people that he murdered. I don't know their entire life stories, but I can imagine a version of those stories where they are actively on the road to redemption and fixing themselves and becoming better people. And then they get shot, and then everybody looks at their past and goes, aha, this justifies it. Imagine, right? This is the Twitter thing. This is the stupid fucking Twitter thing where somebody says something mildly problematic once, and then people go into their tweets 15 years ago looking for things to criticize them for, ignoring the fact that they can grow into a different person in that amount of time. We have this weird fascination with snapshotting people exactly as they are. This is why I'm not a fan of the death penalty, by the way. You can never improve a person once they are 6 feet under. I think that you only use killing in self-defense. I think that is when killing is reasonable. I do not think it is reasonable when the state has the ability to do it. I don't think it is reasonable if us having a popular vote on it means we can fucking kill somebody. I don't think that that is a reasonable thing in general, because people are dynamic things that change over time and can improve or even worsen, but you have to give them the opportunity to roll those dice. Rita says it would actually be worse if he shot them because he knew who they were. Yeah, because then that means he's a hunter. Then that means he's a guy who's actively going and hunting people. That's vigilante justice at that point, and that's also something that I was fairly certain the right wing was not a big fan of. Anyways.
Alex Pretti was terrible and we're better off without him, and Kyle Rittenhouse is not a bad kid, but rather political affiliation.
I don't give a shit because he was a loser, and his life didn't really have much meaning, and it sure as doesn't matter to me.
So just to clarify, you think that a nurse at a veterans hospital who helped save the lives of those that were willing to lose their lives for us in war, protecting our Constitution, our inalienable natural-born rights, is a f***ing loser doing nothing productive for society, right?
So how do you guys think she's going to respond to that one? Because her defense with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing was that she did not know enough about the situation to make a judgment call, despite it being a very, very, very well-known set of facts. Dean's actually right to press it exactly like this. If she is going to make the declarative statement, this person didn't have a whole lot going for them anyway, so it was right to kill them. You know who else doesn't have a lot going for them yet? Fucking 6-year-olds. I guess we just shoot all of them. Why does it matter? Things aren't going that great for them anyway. I mean, look at the climate right now. They are growing up in a shithole. But sure, I guess that just means we can just kill people carte blanche.
Yeah, just because you're a nurse does not mean you're a productive member of society.
Ma'am, a nurse is the exact definition of a productive member of society. That is very hard. It is very hard to actually have a more productive member of society than somebody in the medical field. You idiot. Simon's Blood says, rip bozo. Okay, Dorito, fucking, why did you pin that? That made it hard to read. Okay, rip bozo, random YouTube link, me mock me whatever I period. Okay. So I was right about the human communication thing. You don't know how to type. That's wild. I shot in the dark in that, like Kyle Rittenhouse when he shot in the dark and randomly hit somebody who hurt a kid. Was it okay when I did that? Anywho, me mock me whatever I period. Now there's a capital D for the dude. Dude, wait, oh my god, no, you guys have to see how this is written. You guys have to see how this is written. This is silly. Can I zoom? Is that a thing I can, aha! I can zoom. I will give you all the attention that you require, and all the attention in general. Let's see here. Ba, 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 ba. Where are we at? Rip bozo. Me mock me whatever I period. Dude, you a waste of space on the internet. That is just insult people that have the slightest difference in beliefs, opinions, creed, or skin color. You mistake of human society. I believe you are either an 11-year-old child, a bot, or somebody who should have the computer taken away from them, because I do not think that you have the mental faculties to be on the internet and talking with greater society. I'll be perfectly honest with that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with that. I said also we had a guy like this who would link your old stuff. Oh, yo, don't know how to read, you baby raped brain bitch. My god, that is such a colorful use of language. A baby raped brain bitch? I mean, obviously I can't allow that one because I do have a TOS thing that I have to deal with Twitch, but I can read it. And I can make fun of you for it, but we're certainly going to knock that one off there. Yeah, look, there are room temperature IQs, and then there are IQs that are in the tundra, and I believe we are in the latter category at the moment. I said, someone calling Suris is going to need more spoons for this. No, I don't need more spoons at this point. I know what I'm dealing with now. I'm dealing with somebody who's a edgy boy, who thinks that they are more capable and stronger and smarter and better than people who have spent their entire lives working in the medical field. Honestly, it's actually really funny that we're doing a video on Emily, who believes that people who work in the medical field are wastes of space because they exercise their Second Amendment rights. It's really funny to see an actual person waste their First Amendment rights to declare that they do not think that medical professionals are in fact professionals. And that is what's going on right here. Man, that's really funny. Oh, hi, child. Hello. Come here, kitty. Ah, okay, so you're probably gonna go to the computer, right? And then I can take video of you when you do. Blap. The cat. The only place you don't meow at me at is on top of my computer. Anywho, man, I'm just curious, guys. Also, an anonymous gifter, thank you for gifting 5 anonymous subs and starting a hype train. That is amazing, and I appreciate you, and you are awesome. I'm also going to say there is an amount of people in the chat right now who are willingly getting trolled. Like, you are willingly taking a person seriously as they are actively trying to troll you. Stop. Just do not feed the troll. It's simple. It's so simple. Everybody is always so raring to have a fight. They never actively take the minute to realize that feeding the trolls is probably not in their best interest. Just don't. But Suris, someone is wrong on the internet. Yeah, you're right. Somebody is wrong on the internet. That means they deserve to be shot or something, I guess. I don't know. Man, that's a lot of text really fast. Holy shit. What part of the majority of your community is neurospicy? Do you not understand? Yeah, I understand it. I just refuse to acknowledge it. So, but Suris, I want to fatten up the troll so we can vor. Oh my god. You know, people who are into vor try to argue that it's not cannibalism, but it totally is. And then there's the weird vor where you, like, people fetishize being pooped out at the end. Sienna says, Suris, if you've heard of Jovan Bradley, he has a strong stop debating them in chat and tell them to call in course. He mains as a debate streamer. I mean, that's fair, but I also really like making fun of them in chat. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I gain a immense amount of fun making fun of idiots in chat. That is 10 out of 10 entertainment for me personally. Maybe not for anybody else, but certainly for me. I'm always here for it. Anyways, that was the Dean Withers clip I wanted to go over. I think it's very funny. Emily is very stupid. It's just really funny that we got two stupid people in regards to this at the same time. I didn't even have to plan one of them. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.